Good morning guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be reviewing for you the brand new Viktor & Rolf Flowerbomb Ruby Orchid, and I did recently speak about this perfume briefly in one of my recent videos, but I wanted to do a dedicated review on this fragrance because I know I was super excited for it, and I know there's a lot of other people who can't wait to get their hands on it, and I kind of just wanted to give you my 2 cents about what I think about it. Is it worth the money? Is it really that different from the original that you need it? And all of that kind of stuff, and I do have a few thoughts on it. So I hope that you're interested in hearing them. And if this is your first time on my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Alithia, and on this channel we do talk mostly about perfumes. We do a lot of hauls, unboxings, first impressions, we do some declutters. So if you like that kind of thing, I would love if you would stick around and subscribe. Feel free to head on over and follow me on Instagram. And with that out of the way, let's get started in today's video. Okay guys, so here we are today to do a more thorough review of the new Viktor & Rolf Flowerbomb Ruby Orchid. So this is the newest release from the Viktor & Rolf Flowerbomb range, and this has been pretty hyped up / anticipated. I think a lot of people were really excited about this one because the original Flowerbomb was such an amazing seller. It does happen to be one of my favorite perfumes. If you guys watch my channel, you already know the love affair that I have with that perfume. So I certainly was extremely excited when I heard this one was coming out. I didn't even really take time to think about it. I just took a quick look at the notes to make sure there was nothing in there that was going to be off-putting or something that I really hated in a note, and then I pretty much just threw it in my cart and purchased it. So according to the Viktor & Rolf website, they say that the Ruby Orchid Eau de Parfum spray is a sensual floral perfume that's inspired by the glamour of burlesque. This passionate woman's perfume blends ruby flower orchid, juicy peach, and red foxy vanilla bean to create a magnetic fragrance perfect for any confident woman. So before I get into what the notes are and what I get from this perfume and the longevity and all of that stuff, let me give you kind of a proper close-up of this bottle. So it comes in this absolutely beautiful sort of ruby fuchsia pink bottle. It is absolutely stunning, you guys. I love this bottle. I have to say that part of what really drew me to this fragrance and really made me want to try it was definitely the bottle itself. And then second to that was the fact that it is a flanker of one of my already most favorite perfumes in the world. So it comes in the typical grenade style bottle, does have the little metal plate on the front. It has the same type of cap, and otherwise it's exactly the same bottle as the original Flowerbomb. Also, one thing about the Flowerbomb fragrances, actually all Viktor & Rolf fragrances, is they do have kind of a large atomizer. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed, but they do have a hefty atomizer on them. It's kind of a thicker, wider one, and it does give a generous spray when you are putting it on your skin. The bottle itself is really nice. The design is really nice, and I have nothing to say to fault the bottle. Absolutely beautiful. And I'm so glad that they actually didn't do something crazy with it, like turn it into some weird shape. I like that they just kept with the original Flowerbomb bottle shape and then just changed the color to reflect the notes that are inside. So the notes that are listed in the opening are peach and vine, and I'm not sure what vine is meant to smell like. Peach is usually not a very good note for me. There's a lot of perfumes out there that have peach in it that I'm really not a fan of. So that was something that worried me a little bit with this. I don't like something that smells overly peach, and I don't like something that smells overly synthetic or screechy or anything like that. But this doesn't have that synthetic, overly noticeable peachy note. In the middle you have orchid as the only note that's listed, and in the base you have vanilla bean as the only note that's listed. Now I do think there must be more notes in here than what is listed. That was all I could find online. So if you guys happen to know of any other notes that are in here besides those 4, please feel free to let us all know down below in the comments. So I have had this on my arm for about 20 minutes. I kind of wanted to refresh my nose for you guys and tell you what I'm picking up in the middle and in the dry down. And let me just give my arm a sniff again here. So when I first spray this perfume, I do get a little bit of a freshness. I think I do pick up a little bit of that peach, and I don't particularly pick up anything green or anything that would smell like vine. It just smells like a very fruity, sweet opening to me. This perfume is quite linear. It doesn't change a whole lot from opening to finish. It does become a little bit more stronger in the vanilla and a little bit less fruity as it dries down, but otherwise it's not a complex perfume. It's not challenging. It's a rather simple fruity vanilla perfume. So very, very pleasing for most people. I think this is going to be an easy like or an easy love for a lot of people. If you like the other Viktor and Rolf perfumes such as Bon Bon, Flowerbomb Nectar, you will probably really enjoy this one. Although I have to say both Nectar and Bon Bon are more complex than this one. They have different nuances to them, and the reason I compare those three is because I think that this one is quite similar to Flowerbomb Nectar, and it also shares some similarities with Bon Bon because it does have that overly gourmand vanillic touch. My first impression of this perfume, you guys, is that I'm not blown away by it, and the reason I say that is because I used to have Flowerbomb Nectar, and to me this could be Flowerbomb Nectar's slightly older sister. It's not quite as sweet, it's not quite as potentially cloying as Flowerbomb Nectar. If you've ever smelled Nectar, you know that that one is extremely sweet. So this one could be a sister to Flowerbomb Nectar, except this one isn't quite as sweet. There is, of course, no note of gunmetal in here to make it really unique or interesting or complex, and then this one has a little bit more vanilla. So this is a very feminine, very sweet, very flirty, very fun evening time perfume. I do have to say that the longevity for me on this is not monster. The performance in general is not monster. It's definitely not the crazy projector and as long lasting as Flowerbomb Nectar is. For me, I get probably about 5 or 6 hours on my skin before it's incredibly soft / not really noticeable anymore. On clothing though, this will last all day and into the next day. I can still smell this on the part of my sweater or whatever it is that I sprayed it on. So if you were to go generous with this and also spray on your clothing, I don't think you're going to have any performance issues with this whatsoever. After this sits on your skin for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, it becomes a rather generic, if I can say so, smelling fruity vanilla perfume. It's a fruity vanilla orchid fragrance on your skin. Very pleasant, very soft, very feminine, extremely, extremely sweet. So yeah, you do have to like sweet perfumes to like this fragrance. If you already have Flowerbomb Nectar, I don't really think that you need this. I think those two are too similar. I think this is more similar to Flowerbomb Nectar than it is to the original Eau de Parfum. And I do have to say that my first impression of this is I'm actually a little tiny bit disappointed. I would have loved for this to be a little bit more special or a little bit more complex or something. It's a rather simple, safe note composition. I do see how they say that it's sort of related to burlesque or inspired by burlesque because it definitely smells like sensual, feminine, flirty energy. And this would be great for a date night. I think this would be a big hit with the men if you're looking for something that your boyfriend or husband would like. I know that in my experience, men do seem to like the fruity, sweet vanilla perfumes. I did share this with my boyfriend just on the paper strip, and he said it smelled really nice. He hasn't smelt it on me yet, and the trend that I notice is that when I actually wear a perfume and he smells it on me, he usually likes it a lot more on me than he does on paper. So I think this would be a great perfume to wear for date nights. I think it would go over very, very well. Very sexy, very sweet, very feminine. But you guys, I do have to say, if I can say, I do prefer the original Flowerbomb. The original is such an incredible scent. It's very unique. It's very distinct. Of course, a lot of people wear it, but whenever you smell Flowerbomb on somebody, you know that they're wearing Flowerbomb. It's very, very difficult to mistake, whereas this one's a little bit more generic. This one could be easily confused with Nectar. They might think you're just wearing some sort of a sweet, fruity, generic women's fragrance. I don't know if anybody's going to smell this on you and say, "Oh hey, I think you're wearing Ruby Orchid." No, I don't think they're going to do that. It's not that unique or that special. And I do have to say that it does kind of become very soft, very light after it's been on your skin for about that 20-25 minute mark. It's quite soft. It's not a huge projector at that point. It's just a very soft, sweet, pleasant, closer to the skin fragrance. So this would be a little bit better for like closer encounters, getting a little closer to somebody, not something that is going to announce your presence when you walk into the room. I have to say that the scent itself and the performance doesn't really match the color of the bottle or the look of the bottle. For a perfume like this, I would have expected it to be a little bit more bold, which it really isn't. So otherwise, I have to say there's really nothing bad I can say about this perfume. It does smell good. It's pretty safe. It's a little bit generic. It's nothing like wow factor. It's nothing to write home about or go crazy about. I've definitely smelled more wow factor perfumes, but I really do like the bottle. And I think if you're looking for a very safe gift idea or even a safe blind buy for yourself, I think this is not a bad one. I don't think think that you're going to dislike it. It's just nothing super crazy special, but it is a really nice fragrance. So yeah, so that is Viktor & Rolf Flowerbomb Ruby Orchid. So the performance on this fragrance, I would give about a 6 out of 10. It isn't a weak perfume, but it's not necessarily a great performing perfume if you're looking at longevity and projection. And for the scent profile, I would have to give it about maybe a 6.5 or a 7 out of 10. It's very nice. It's definitely not a poor smelling perfume, but it's not very wow factor or original or unique, and it's quite simple and quite safe. So those are my thoughts on this fragrance, you guys. For myself personally, will I be keeping it? I'm not really sure. I'm not sure it's worth the money that I paid for it. The bottle is so beautiful though, and it would be a really easy reach, I think. So I'm kind of on the fence right now. That's where I'm sitting with this one. I'm definitely a little bit on the fence. This one did come from Sephora, so they do take returns. So I'm kind of hemming and hawing about, is this going to come into my collection permanently for the year? Because like I told you guys, I'm not doing any declutters in my collection for a year. Or is this one going to go back to Sephora? I'm still not sure about that. If you have smelt this perfume, please let me know your thoughts down below. I'd really like to know everybody else's thoughts. I think that depending on who you are and what your age range is, those answers are going to vary significantly. If you are a perfume connoisseur, somebody who's really into perfume, I think you're going to be rather disappointed by this. But if you're somebody who's younger, what am I doing? If you're somebody who's younger, newer to the perfume world, or just, you know, hasn't smelled that many perfumes, I think that you will probably like this perfume a lot more and be a little bit more wowed by it. So yeah, I think this is going to do really well among the younger population, and I think it's a general crowd pleaser. And I have to say, my favorite part about this perfume is the bottle. So that's it for today's video, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed hearing my thoughts on the Flowerbomb Ruby Orchid. And if you have tried this perfume, please let me know your thoughts down below, and I will see you all very soon in my next video. Bye for now.